This is an article from cracked.com. It's called 22 of the worst thing that the CIA has done. And, it started with the Native Americans. So you know what to expect. So I don't know if there's a website like the kind of like a humor type of thing, or it's serious or not anything, but I'm willing to read and all that. Maybe we're gonna ask AI to see if that's accurate. So the first thing it says, orchestrating a coup in 1953 to overthrow the democratically elected prime minister of Iran, which played a role in the Iranian Revolution. Well, I've seen a video on Twitter. It says like there's 143 different regime change around the world that are started by the United States. So it's like this is something that's accurate. I already know that they engage in coup d'états and regime change all the time. Former CIA employee here. In my view, it was the moment they lost their initial mission: observe, analyze, coordinate. Actually doing stuff, changing outcomes was outside the agency purpose from the beginning. The saying goes, all Truman wanted was a newspaper, literally as its creation and its name. The CIA mission was supposed to be intelligence, gathering information, and central, taking information from multiple sources, analyzing and synthesizing it, and coordinating among government agencies. Well, I don't know what the hell was that. So overthrow government in South America at behest of a fruit company. Well, I already discussed that. Guatemala syphilis experiment. Quote wiki. Doctors infected 1,300 people, including at least 600 soldiers, and people from various impoverished groups, including but not limited to sex workers, orphans, inmates of mental hospitals, and prisoners with syphilis, gonorrhea, and chancroid. That's how you pronounce that. Without the informed consent of the subject. They will literally inject people with illnesses. Oh wow, that's criminal. MK Ultra was pretty effed up, but I doubt we will ever hear about the most ducked up shit they did. Um, this is a whole topic by itself. I'm like we're not gonna go through it. Operation Northwoods, a false flag operation meant to be conducted with the assistance of the Department of Defense in order to commit terrorist attack on the US population and blame the whole thing on Cuba, so that the America will support the war on Cuba. This idea about like enabling terrorist attack, this is just like one of the characteristic of America. That they do it all the time. So anytime you see these extremist radical, whatever terrorist operation, whatever, America is involved. Like you can, like if you just assume that, you're going to be right like 90% of the time. Okay, 16. Multiple coup to maintain the business of a banana company. I don't know if that's true. Flooded black neighborhood in America with crack in the 80s. Yeah, well, see, y'all still fighting about like equality and all that. I mean, even now, me personally, I completely abandoned this idea of like trying to defeat that, like the imperialism and all that. I mean, I don't know how are you gonna win, especially when it's uncoordinated and all that. I mean, black people should be at the top of that society, but the so-called African American, they've been the longest in the country, but somehow they're still suffering. So we have another one there, the killing of Patrice Lumumba. This guy was thrown in acid. I've heard that story. Was up there. An African leader who wasn't just in it to enrich himself, and bam, the CIA ordered his execution because clearly someone not overcome by selfish greed must be a Soviet looking to point nukes at the United States. This guy was thrown in acid. They assassinated him, the CIA, in collaboration with the British. They found him and they killed him and they throw his body in acid, killing Allende to put murderous Pinochet in power was quite bad. Auguste Pinochet was the former dictator of Chile. Was in Santiago, Chile, and when he died in December 10, 2006. So, yeah, they got rid of him. Okay, 12. Hire Nazis to help fight communists. Getting caught red-handed and later admitting to the distribution of cocaine to inner city colored men in an effort to destabilize black families and low-income communities of America. I don't know why they do have these white people. I don't understand like why do they have this psychotic hatred. There are plenty of answers here that rely on scale for the definition of worse. But I would say the qualitatively worst thing that the CIA did was fund MK Ultra experiments in Canada. Mental patients were locked in isolation, deprived of sensory stimuli, and made to listen to recording on a loop for weeks on end. Some were subjugated to electroshock treatment, so powerful that they lost all episodic memory of their lives and became the mental equivalent of children. Oh, wow. Some of these experiments were paired with psychedelics. Imagine the experience of losing all memory, tripping balls while being forced to listen to a loop of your good wife and mother for multiple consecutive weeks. Now consider what that experience would be like if it were literally the only thing you could remember. That's one of the worst things I could possibly imagine. Wow, that's a long chapter over there. I mean, I don't know how to react to it. It's really pretty bad. Internationally, you can pick domestically sterilizing Native American women to reduce the number of Native Americans born. And this is one thing that I want to say about the Palestinian conflict. They already lost. All these pro-Palestine protests and all that. They're not gonna change anything. And you know why? Because America is involved. And when America want to colonize a certain place, you're not going to win. So you can be pro-Palestine all you want. I'm telling you, they lost. You know when? In 1948, when the Zionists came from Europe. That's when they lost. So you can protest all you want. It's not going to change the thing. They don't care. Where's the Native American right now? You can't even see them anywhere. They're completely hidden from even the discussions. You can't even talk about it. So Operation Phoenix, during the Vietnam War, the CIA conducted a program called Operation Phoenix to involve the assassination of thousands of suspected Viet Cong members and their sympathizers. The program has been criticized for its brutality and lack of due process. 7. Regime change brought to you by the CIA have extended the life of authoritarianism around the world, not thwarted even the successful regime change. Yeah, they don't like democracy. America, they talk about democracy all the time. They don't have democracy in their country, and they definitely do not want democracy outside. The Ukrainian coup in 2014 seems pretty bad right about now. Yeah, well, that's why you have the war. For me, it's the Tuskegee syphilis experiment, wild crew racist. Tuskegee syphilis, well, there was some like injecting illnesses and all that. Operation Artichoke, which will be followed by the Blue Jay, which will eventually become MK Ultra. An Operation Paperclip, and the first that comes to mind, Operation Midnight Climax, is also. I have to look at this stuff. I don't know what they're talking about, but there seems to be a lot of operation right there. The Central Intelligence, the CIA, has been involved in many controversial and morally questionable actions throughout its history. One of the most egregious and widely condemned actions of the CIA was its involvement in the torture of detainees during the War on Terror. Yeah, remember in Iraq when they were like electroshocking, detainees in the prison, and then, I've seen these pictures. It's horrific. In the aftermath of the attack, the CIA implemented an enhanced interrogation program that included techniques such as waterboarding, sleep deprivation, and sensory deprivation. These techniques were not only inhuman, but also ineffective in obtaining actual intelligence. They don't care. It seems like they do like violence. It seems they enjoy the suffering of others. even if they not like even if it doesn't actually give them money or resources or help them with their increase their power or anything. I mean, it's just the suffering. They're so in love with the idea of making people suffer. It's really inhumane, you know. Basically, being fully responsible for the rise of Islamic radicalism. Yeah, I talked about that in my previous video when they were funding terrorist people. They literally had like this newspaper article saying that Bin Laden was like a warrior and a brave human. Like I can't remember what they said, but like they were praising him. And then they later they engaged with him in Pakistan. They were trying to fight the communists. You know, they were funding the mujahideen and all that, but because they're so stupid, they didn't make the differentiation between the actual resistance in Pakistan and the radical Muslim coming from all over the Muslim community. Well, I'm not going to read all that. Trick question. The only stuff we know about was demon. I don't have to declassify. That's true. Like this last one. I mean, we can't even know. I mean, just the stuff that we know, it's horrific. And to claim like this is when people like claim that, well, I'm proud of my country. I'm proud of to be American. Yeah, well, you're part of a criminal organization. But anyway, if you had anything to add, leave it in the comment section below, and see you next time.